This is Deborah Taveras with StopTheCrime.net. We're now going to go into part 3 of a description of the Rockefeller Foundation document and the pandemic that we're all experiencing, lockdown now worldwide. I would ask all of you to please hit the subscribe button on StopTheCrime.net and share this information far and wide. We're all in this together, and we will have to connect and go through how we can survive moving forward based on what their plans are revealing to us. Now, I want to add this at this point because there are many plans in play. Many plans are all fully adopted in all of our cities everywhere worldwide. That, of course, is the Paris International Climate Accords, and this was certainly what has initiated the sustainable development plots and schemes that have been now developed and adopted worldwide in all of our cities by all of the mind-controlled, MKUltra possibly, representatives of the New World Order that have been planted in all of your city agencies and all corporate structures worldwide. It's hard to know how to explain that, but I can tell you back in January, on January 10th of 2020, I attended a diabolical meeting, and it was a discussion about transitioning all of us off of fossil fuels, off of the use of diesel. They're saying diesel free by 33, no propane to be used, limited travel, no car idling. You cannot idle. And I will tell you, Sonoma Clean Power, I've spoken in the 3 minutes that are allocated to the public, of which I'm the only one, is the bowels of hell. This is where policies are created that the cities are rubber stamping. There are many, many behind closed door meetings that the public is unaware of because you don't need to know that, and sadly, they're in full throttle forward. These plans, as I see, are unstoppable. And the transition to only renewables is a military operation called microgrids. I will say this again because as I get back into this Rockefeller document, it's important to understand what microgrids are and who's behind the microgrid disinformation, and that would be Rockefeller and Rothschild. And we're told here in our bill from Pacific Gas and Electric, again, Rothschild, that on January 21st of 2020, Pacific Gas and Electric filed its proposal to increase rates to safely reduce impact of future public safety power shutoffs. In other words, when they turn the power off, turn the power off, turn the power off, turn the power off.
To the right side of this is obviously a scrying mirror, and it also represents darkness, darkness, darkness.
As we experienced many times in the year of 2019 during the fires. And they say events will expand, and they will be expanding the use of microgrids. Microgrids are designed to provide local sources of power to customers when there is a wider outage on the electric grid. I say quite a bit about this in past videos. Microgrid planning is a military weaponization of defining our communities and sectionalizing the grid, and so that we're only using renewables. That is the intention. Only renewables, solar, wind, and geothermal, none of which are reliable because the weather is controlled. So now I'm going to go back into the document, the Rockefeller document, and discuss more of what they're telling us. So they're telling us that many of those building homes have been hell-bent on expanding the footprint of housing, and they've ignored the very real environmental consequences of their unrestricted growth. Undeniably, they say, the planet's climate was becoming increasingly unstable. So we're being told that this year we're going to have increasingly unstable and horrific and severe weather events. And you can watch this occurring worldwide. This is what is happening. This is what we can expect. Also, they're saying that countries continued to build out coastal megacities. Now, why I say coastal megacities is that the militaries, all branches, are under heavy assault against populations on all low-lying coastal areas. I have many YouTubes where we break down how all branches of the military are literally being used to cause and force relocation from the coastlines, wherein 70% of the global populations reside. Certainly I would recommend you take a look at a YouTube that we have up on Stop the Crime called Coastlines Under Attack. They go on to say how they will show the devastating effects of climate change, and that there will be motorboats navigating through lower Manhattan, and that there will be motorboats navigating through lower Manhattan.
New York will be destroyed. New York will be destroyed. New York will be destroyed.